Allie, I heard there's some beef with Drake. I don't know what's going on.
Oh, you heard that?
Yeah, you told me, and then I was like, well, Allie's gonna tell me about it.
Just get on any social media platform and you will see.
Girl, I'm on the social media platforms.
There's a whole Wikipedia.
I just don't know about it.
Well,
Nobody told me.
Let me just give you the cliff notes.
I just look at cat videos.
Okay, here's the cliff notes.
Okay.
Drake, bad. Drake, pedophile.
I know. Millie Bobby Brown, Billie Eilish. I know about that.
Well, you know, he's never probably... He's okay, so let me just start from the beginning. There's beef between Drake, Kendrick, J. Cole. J. Cole drops out early because he probably knew what was coming. But Drake and Kendrick don't like each other. They haven't in a while. And Drake fucks everyone's bitches. That's one of the reasons.
And he texts Millie Bobby Brown and Billie Eilish when they were young.
Yes.
I mean, they still are young.
He's very pedo-like. Groomer type.
Have you seen his interview with that girl Bobby?
Yes, we've talked about this before.
Oh, we have. Oh yeah, we did talk about that.
Yeah. So Kendrick they don't like each other. Drake is, well, Kendrick pretty much is because Drake represents the side of hip hop that is infiltrating the real hip hop. Like he's too dancey. He tries to be hard. He's not hard. He comes from Canada in a nice neighborhood, and he was a child actor. Like, he didn't have it hard. And he also is Canadian and kind of only acts black when he benefits from it. So there's just a lot of reasons that people in the industry aren't really fucking with Drake right now. But they're dissing each other in the diss tracks, and we've gotten some really good.
Wait, Drake and who? Kendrick,
yeah.
Well, Kendrick Lamar, I like him. As a
yeah,
rapper.
well, we all love Kendrick. We're Team Kendrick.
We're team
That's all you need to know. Drake was calling out Kendrick, saying that he beat his wife and covered it up, but that was debunked. I forget
was
how.
It?
I don't know.
Okay.
I'm hoping that it was true.
I hope he didn't
but
do it.
Yeah, and then Kendrick started calling out Drake for not being a real rapper, like, you know, pretending to be, or not being black enough, not thinking he's black enough, and only being black when it benefits him. And he called him out
black
for
enough is like a little bit.
No, definitely, but I think the point is like he turns it on. When he
like he purposefully will turn it off.
Kendrick's like, we don't want to hear you say the N-word no more. Like he put that in a song. And yeah, so Kendrick was calling out Drake, saying that he's a pedo, and he has a lot of lyrics about that in all of his diss tracks, and that he's not a good father to Adonis. And he actually made a diss track talking straight to Adonis, Drake's son.
Oh.
Saying like, your dad sucks. Like, your dad sucks. Listen to this when you're 18. Don't be like him, basically.
That's like how I feel about like Northwest, like the West, like how they're gonna think about their dad once they stop idolizing him and like realize how he is.
Yeah. So he's saying like, you know, he's saying some harsh stuff like, I wish your grandfather wore a condom so Drake was never born.
Whoa, that's a little harsh. That's a little too much. Talking
to his mom, telling him you raised a shitty person, saying he has a gambling addiction and a drug problem and he's shitty to women. Kendrick's also saying that Drake thinks he's one of the bitches and he sees women as competition, and everyone's also saying that
women are the competition.
Yeah.
There's a lot of women rappers.
Yeah.
Right now.
Right. But he also said there's so much that has been said, and it's all done in a very good, like a very lyrical and fun way. Like, the songs are bops.
Okay, I'll listen to them.
They're bops.
All right, I'll listen to them.
I'll play them for you after this.
Yeah, that's really funny because I feel like me and Langston are outside of that loop, and Langston had his birthday party last night, and Sky sang the Drake. I think it was Drake's.
No,
it was
Kendrick's.
But
Can't
he
let you
made
make that
his
mistake.
own. I'm sorry. He made it. I was like, you know, kind of paying attention, but he made his own version, where he was like a part of it was a birthday song with his own lyrics.
Mhm.
But it was really cute. And Langston was like, I don't know what song this is. And I was like, I don't either.
You guys are crazy. Like, sometimes I think you live under a rock because this is all over everything.
It's just your algorithm. I feel
But
like
even people who don't listen to them normally, like my friend Kristen texted me and she was like, oh my God, the last line in Kendrick's diss track. And I was like, what? Even you're like,
I feel like
this?
I'm trying to stay away from pop, like popular pop culture.
Oh, well, this is
I'm
a
a
big
hipster.
deal because
I'm
this
a
is like
hipster.
history. Historically, this hasn't happened since probably like Biggie.
No,
Tupac.
because we remember there was Megan Thee Stallion.
No, this
and
isn't
Nicki.
as big as that. These are diss track after diss track after.
I feel like there's been diss tracks on YouTube. Diss tracks on YouTube were a thing for a
Yeah,
while.
but this is like they're digging below the belt with this one. This is war. Like Drake had to made a song
no,
basically.
remember there was like MGK and
Nobody
Eminem.
gives a fuck about that.
Eminem
Two
and
white
MGK.
boys, come on.
Yeah,
That's
but
not
that
part
was
of the
a
culture,
thing.
bro. That's not. We don't give a fuck about these white boys.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I think that people respect Eminem at least. People respect Eminem as a rapper. Like he.
Yeah, I'm just saying that this holds more weight. This holds way more
Okay.
weight, and it's like a West Coast versus not thing as well, like East Coast, I guess, but Toronto, you know. And Drake made a song that was like, I'm way too famous. If I was a pedophile, I would have gotten caught by now.
No, that's the reason why you're not getting caught.
Yeah.
like,
Yeah, and he was like, you all would know. And I was thinking, okay, you may not have ever
That just sounds like an excuse.
crossed any lines, but like he probably has, and you, like you said, he's just too famous to even feel it. But maybe he hasn't crossed any lines, but he still wanted to. He's grooming
also, like,
these girls
this out, which is weird. Like,
Yeah.
it's just weird to be texting people that are in their teens. When
Yeah,
you're in
he
your
was saying
30s.
like, oh, and then did you see there was a show that he did? And I remember when this happened in real life because I've always been a Drake fan. But this show, this girl gets up on stage, and I saw this tour too because he did the same thing with another woman that I saw. But he gets a woman up on stage, and then he like goes behind her and like sings to her and kind of caresses her and like kisses her neck and stuff. And then after he does that, he's like, wait, how old are you? And the girl's like 17.
No.
And Drake was like, why do you look like that? You're so thick. Like, why do you look like that? And then kissed her on the cheek, like cheek. I thought it was the lips, but I guess it's the cheek.
Either way, that's not how you react. When someone says you're 17, you say, I'm sorry, I didn't know that you were a minor.
Yeah.
Let's never let that happen again. Like,
yeah, like, oh shit. But no, he did not care. So
I'm plugging my mic back in and giving a spoiler of the fact that I'm going to be here later in the episode. But as a 17-year-old, I had people act like that towards me and ask me why I look so old even though I'm 17. And I just want to say it feels super vile.
yeah, that's gross.
It's a disgusting feeling.
Ew.
What, like, when will men ever learn to control themselves?
I don't know.
Is it possible?
I never had like
No.
people tell me that I looked older, but I definitely had like grown ass men try to invite me to the club when I was 15.
Yeah.
Like
They fucking know
Like-
better, and they act like they don't, and it's embarrassing as hell.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, you should not be texting a 14-year-old telling her you miss her so much and giving her dating advice for boys.
Wait,
What do
who's
you
who
have in
that?
Drake
common
did that
as
to-
a 14-year-old, as a 30-year-old man?
Yeah, Drake
Let
did
me
that
know.
to Millie Bobby Brown when she was 14. She was like in an interview being like, "Oh my god, I love Drake so much. He texts me all the time that he misses me, and he always gives me advice on like
That's-
boys."
Yeah. Oh yeah. I mean,
and
that's
grooming. Like he's probably
you
like
heard
talking to
the
her
Billie
about
Eilish
boys.
one too, right?
Yeah, yeah. Like I can't. Yeah.
So why does
and
he
if
like
it's like
people named Billy and Millie and Bobby?
Ooh.
There's like a pattern here with the rhyming and the Bobbies, and I'm just saying.
yeah,
Millie and Billy and Bobby and
Millie Billy Brown.
Hmm.
But yeah, it's true.
Hmm.
But it's a conspiracy.
Yeah, but basically Kendrick won this whole diss battle. It's been a long couple weeks worth of battling, and he won.
Well, Does the general public agree that he wins?
Yes. People
Okay.
are hating on Drake.
But is it just because of your algorithm, though?
No.
No, Drake is finally getting the long-awaited hate he deserves.
Yeah,
I'm so happy.
his house got shot up.
Oh.
Someone shot his security guard.
That's a little.
That's too far, but I'm just
Something
saying.
No
down on the
innocent
working
people should
people.
be.
I
yeah.
agree, but
Get out on Drake himself.
yeah, no, like, but that's, and then his store, his OVO store in Canada got graffitied, and it said "Not Like Us," and that's Kendrick's song name, like his
Mhm.
last one. So, and all like, DJ, who was it?
DJ Khaled.
Metro Boomin, who produces a bunch of the rap songs. He doesn't like Drake either, and he made a he made a track called BBL Drake, and it's like BB. How's it go? It's like BBL Drizzy, BBL Drizzy.
Why does he look like he has a BBL?
Megan Thee Stallion accused him of having a BVL in her hit diss track Hissed. And the reason she has beef with him is, of course, because Drake took Tory Lane's side, which is insane.
Stupid.
He legitimately shot her.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah. Drake has had lipo on his abs. I think
Okay.
that one's true. I think that's where the BBL started coming from, because he's had work done. So they started calling him BBL Drake. Oh, and Rick Ross is in this beef too.
Okay.
That's new to me.
Yeah, Rick
Yeah,
Ross
I
has
feel
a
like
diss track as well, talking shit about Drake.
Why do I not care about this that much?
Because you don't care. It's fine. It's fine. It's just
I like to see Drake going down for being a pedo. That's for sure.
yeah.
And I never really got the hype about Drake. I never really understood why he was so popular.
Yeah.
Like, I think he's a good rapper, I guess, but like he's not like, he shouldn't get that. It's like the same feeling that I have about Taylor Swift. It's like,
Mhm.
why? It's kind of generic.
He's
like,
easily the Taylor Swift of rap.
Oh,
Yeah.
100%. 100%.
Yeah.
That's such a good metaphor. He
Yeah.
really is.
so like,
Taylor Swift
Which
was a
is
fucking
ironic
pedophile.
because Kendrick is the one who did a feature on Taylor Swift's track, and Drake dissed him about that. But
but I mean, I think he was just trying to get the bag.
yeah, for sure. No, I'm just saying, like, that's a really good metaphor. And yeah, fuck Drake, basically. And if you don't care, you don't care. No,
Yeah,
it's
well,
no big
maybe
deal.
it's not that I don't care. I think it's just like, I'm like, okay, I don't know these people. I think I would get more involved in like people that are like directly towards me.
You also haven't heard the songs. The
Okay,
songs are
I'll listen
brutal.
to them.
The
I'll listen
songs
to
are
them.
brutal. They're like, you hear them and you're like, oh shit.
He's not leaving any feelings behind.
No.
And he's
Is it
really
on the
going
radio?
in on it.
Yeah, they're playing
Yeah.
it on the radio.
I can't wait to hear that shit in the club.
Yeah, dude. Oh my god.
Genuinely,
Yeah.
I'm here to be a hater in the club.
Oh, this has sparked like my hater era. Like, I think I'm a hater for this point, just for right now, because I've been a little extra spicy.
Me too. Yeah.
I think it's just in the air.
Yeah. Well, maybe there's something in the astrology charts about it,
Maybe.
but
Retrogrades.
I actually have been kind of like spicy towards people.
Yeah, me too. So I think it's just that time. And what are we talking about today?
I'm trying to get the straw ASMR. We're talking about spicy.
We're both drinking out of our knockoff
Our knockoff
Stanleys.
Mine's cuter though.
No, it is. It is.
Aw.
It is. It's got 4 different colors. Mine's just one
My
solid.
yours has more volume.
I can carry more water in this.
Yeah.
But your colors are cute. Mine is cute too.
Yours is cute. It's like a peach color.
It's all peach in the straw, the lid, everything's peach. That's why I
Is
liked
yours a
it.
gummy straw?
No.
See, mine's
No,
gummy.
it's plastic.
Mine's gummy.
Well, yours is also for kids, so.
I don't know that it's for kids.
Yes, you do. You said it was.
No.
Yeah, don't pretend you didn't say
I bought
that.
this in
You
the
said
adults
I
only
think
section.
you said I think this is for kids because it's smaller and look at the colors and the fact that it has a freaking gummy.
It's for kids and
straw.
ADHD girlies.
Well, now I want one with I want a gummy straw. I'm pissed I don't
Yeah,
have a gummy
nice.
straw.
They had different color block. You should go to Target because they had different ones like this that were different color blocking. You know,
Yeah.
it was like contrasting colors. Like just to describe to listeners, it's like neon green with a hot pink handle and a blue top, and then a lavender gummy straw.
Yeah. It's really cute. But yeah, fuck Stanley's.
Run to Target.
Run
and
to
get your
Target.
simple modern.
Simple modern is the way to go. I'm telling you guys right now.
And look,
That's definitely made for kids.
I just flipped mine over. Yep. Look at that.
Mine, yeah,
I
see,
flipped mine over and it doesn't spill.
That's how you know it's for kids because mine just spilled all over the carpet.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Just we got to start buying Stanleys for kids.
Yeah, well,
Simple
now I
modern
know. Now
kids
I know.
version.
Now
This
I know.
is actually so well made.
I'm actually really surprised
Wow.
about that.
Cause the top, do you see how the straw is?
Well,
like,
mine's. Oh, yeah, it's like closed.
yeah.
I know. You're doing
the
it
way
over the
you're just
computer.
holding it over
I
your
know.
computer upside down is making me so nervous.
Well,
but that's really a testament to the
I did it over
craftsmanship.
here. Oh, now it's starting to.
Uh-oh.
I did it over here first, and then I like started trusting it, and so I brought it over to the computer area.
Mistake because it
But-
just started leaking.
Yeah, well, that's why it was over there at that point. Anyway, we're talking about spicy content.
Yes.
And we
Did you know? Well, I already said this.
yeah, we already did all this, so we don't
Right.
have to do this part again. Yeah,
We have a
without
special
further
guest.
ado, we're gonna get into it. I'm Kirsten,
I'm Allie.
and you're listening to
Thank you so much.
Thank you so much for
OnlyFans, MLM.
yeah. My brain said that, but my mouth didn't.
Well, that's what we're calling. I don't know what to call it, to be
Yeah.
honest with
Actually, that's what I called this episode when I titled it. So yeah, we're gonna be talking about OnlyFans MLMs in the continuation of no, I'm not doing it again. The continuation of our MLM month, which I think we were talking about how this is gonna be a chatty month, but I think we actually have an interesting one because we have a special guest.
you. Yeah.
Buckle up.
Did you all know that there are MLMs within OnlyFans? I bet some of you out there
No.
did. I bet some of you out there know,
Yeah, I'm sure a lot of you do. Well, some.
but I didn't.
But I didn't,
So-
and we're going to learn about it. And we have our dear friend Rose on today.
Hey.
Hi,
Hi.
Rose is a OnlyFans star.
connoisseur.
Connoisseur.
A woman of fine taste.
What do you do for OnlyFans?
So on OnlyFans, I myself am a model. I also do professional porn work, you know, on top of my amateur work. But I also help other people manage their OnlyFans pages, which is something not a lot of folks know about. So if someone has a huge page with a lot of traffic, one person can't necessarily manage that all by themselves. So they will hire people who
That
are
makes
already familiar
sense.
with the website in order to help them manage all of their sales and their traffic. And a big part of that is also managing promotions. So like if you follow OnlyFans pages or social media pages, you'll see people post shout outs of people. And sometimes that's like people they know and they're doing it for free, but a lot of times those are paid shout outs. So I do a lot of management of like paid shout outs too, which is cool.
Oh,
Okay.
interesting.
Yeah.
So they're like people who want to grow their page will pay someone basically to
Yeah.
like, but you're getting other people to shout out too, right?
Yeah.
Is that how it's
I'm
working?
like helping people organize their networking for shout outs and stuff. And
It's
then
kind of like an advertisement, right?
Yeah, exactly. It's an advertisement. So that's part of it. And then where MLMs come in is really interesting. There's a lot of people who they not only sell advertisement space on OnlyFans on their pages, but they also sell their knowledge. So these people offer coaching.
Oh, yeah.
So there's a ton of groups available on multiple platforms for coaching for either OnlyFans, Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, whatever, Fansly even. But there's a lot of OnlyFans coaching groups out there. And coaching groups for me is where it starts to get sticky and shady and weird, and depending on the motives of the person running the group, it can go really downhill from your original standard, which is of course good clean porn, but like it starts to get into just really shifty business tactics, which are strange and definitely multi-leveled and definitely pyramid-ish. So yeah.
Have you ever fallen victim to one of these, or like almost?
Or has anyone tried to get you to fall victim?
Yes. So there is a girl who has a really popular coaching service, and she's really popular in general. And she has tried to get me to join her group before, and she's a really nasty person, and I will definitely tell that story during this because it's fascinating. But she's definitely like the main person that I will be talking about with this MLM bullshit. But like kind of the entry parts of these schemes, I did kind of like not really fall victim to, but like I did a part of it, and then I realized that like that's not something I want to be associated with, and I'd rather be like more independent in all of this. But yeah, I've definitely had some people try it with me for sure.
Oh my god.
When did you start this world of OnlyFans?
So I started about 5 years ago. I was a burlesque performer, so I was doing actually drag burlesque specifically, and I loved it. I love my drag family. I love my community so much, and it really helped me gain a lot of confidence in my body as a plus size person, but also like sexual confidence and just like confidence performing in front of people. And something about it really gave me a lot of life. So I made a Twitter account for my persona, Reine, and it kind of popped off, and I was like really surprised by that because I've never like had a large social media account or anything, and it started growing really quickly. And as my Twitter grew, people started asking me if I would make an OnlyFans. And I was like, well, I'm a Lyft driver right now. And like, that sounds like it might be a good idea. I don't want to be a Lyft driver forever. I'm having a bunch of like shit ass interviews at restaurants and nobody's hiring me. And like, this was right before COVID. So I got really lucky that I started all of this right before everything shut down, because I was working in the food industry, and I would have been like,
You also started, I feel like a lot of people started their accounts during COVID, and so you were there like before it really popped off.
I was
and,
already
like,
established.
It was like oversaturated.
Yeah, don't get it twisted.
And
Don't get it
it's
twisted.
still oversaturated, unfortunately, which a lot of people think it's easy money. It simply isn't.
No,
you have to promote your shit.
You have to
people aren't going to find your thing out of nowhere. I think people, when you do any kind of like creative pursuit or something that's on your own, people that have never done something like that before think that you're just like making money or you have money somehow from it.
Yeah.
And it's like, no.
But also
like,
the
you
work
gotta
that goes
promote it.
into it, like
you gotta promote it before you can
the
get
pictures you
that.
have to take and how you have to
Yes, the
post all the time,
content,
the
yeah.
content, like making content is hard.
Yeah, and the other thing about like when you start a fresh new OnlyFans, no one's gonna join your page if you only have like 2 pictures and 1 video on there, because like on the top bar of your profile they can see how many things you've posted and how many likes you have. So if you have like no posts and no content, you're not going to go anywhere. And if you don't commit to making content, so like when I first started my page, I had posted on it for days and weeks before even opening my page to new fans, because I wanted there to be
smart.
content
Yeah,
on the
that's
page. And then I had queued ahead a bunch of content as well. And sometimes I even just post content like a bunch on one day, so that when people join the page and scroll, they see something. But yeah, it's definitely not easy. If you don't have a social media to gain people from already, you're not going to get anyone unless you buy promotions. So you either have to put the work in to build social media and advertising for your page, or you have to put the capital in to buy promotions for your page. Some people do both. But if you're not willing to do that effort and create all the content and also give them your legal name for your 1022s and all of that stuff, so many people are like, oh yeah, I want to start it, but I want to be fully anonymous. Girl, you're legally getting paid. You have to give them your bank account.
Yeah. Like how do you think this works?
It's a paycheck.
Yeah.
Also, you have to do taxes.
But it's just like, it's not like your clients will see that. It's just the
Right,
OnlyFans
it's-
website that sees it.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
only the website that sees it, and they keep your information secure. However, you can never do it fully anonymously if you're getting paid, in the same
Yeah.
way that professional porn shoots, I have to fill out paperwork every single shoot.
Yeah.
They have my tax forms, they have my social security number. Like, they will never share my name with anyone, but like, yeah, your definitely entwined with it as if any other job,
Yeah.
and you have to report your income like any other freelance job. So
Yeah.
Is there
it's not what
any,
people think.
like, legal? I feel like there was something that OnlyFans almost got shut down, the whole website, or they almost made it like you couldn't have any spicy content on there.
Yes,
But
that was
Are there-
because of MasterCard.
oh,
So payment processors tried to revolt against porn companies because they were concerned that there would be illegal content or content that is like super unsavory, which is against OnlyFans terms of service anyway. But they were so scared about the content on OnlyFans and their money, like MasterCard being used for that they basically, MasterCard and Visa were pulling out of OnlyFans entirely, which
that's
is
crazy.
a problem Pornhub had as well. MasterCard and Visa were pulling out because there was a lot of revenge porn and porn of minors on Pornhub, which is awful.
Yeah.
And so OnlyFans had to, they basically threatened to remove all nude content, and then of course they started tanking and making zero money very quickly.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, haha, maybe we shouldn't have
Yeah,
built our
like-
entire platform on this, and then abandon the people we built our platform on.
Yeah.
So there was actually, during that time, a huge boom in assistant services for cleaning OnlyFans pages and deleting all of the content out of your vault. And a lot of people made a lot of money from that, which is kind of great. And I decided to not delete everything off my page and just wait a couple months, because I was like, this is the most unsound business decision I've ever heard. They're going to go against
Yeah.
it. They're
Yeah.
going to reverse it.
Yeah.
And thank God they did. And I didn't,
You
like,
didn't
I know
lose a
people
bunch
that
of
changed their
content.
entire
Oh my
pages
God.
and, like, now have to re-upload everything to their vault. And I'm so glad I didn't,
Hell
like,
yeah.
I stood my ground very firmly, and chose not to change my whole page, and I'm so glad.
Yeah.
And I actually don't know what ended up happening, that MasterCard and Visa did come back to them, because you can use a Visa on there now. But I
feel
do
like
know
the
that with
difference-
like
like the-
Pornhub, they had to change a lot about their website in order for MasterCard and Visa to come back.
Well, that's kind of good though, because they were doing
it's
some
for the
shady
better.
shit, right?
Yeah, it's way for the better, because
Yeah.
now you have to upload consent forms for everyone in your video on Pornhub, which you didn't have to do before. But OnlyFans has pretty much always been like that in some way, where you
Yeah.
have to have
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
verification.
It's like different because it's most of the people that are on OnlyFans are posting themselves,
yes,
but on Pornhub you can post other people.
you can just
or-
post whatever.
Yeah, you can post whatever. It's like YouTube almost. Like,
Yes.
so like the difference is, yeah. So how does that verification work? Like, if you were to collab with somebody and have somebody else in your video, do you have to have something verifying that person, or
So that person either has to create an OnlyFans account and verify through them, which is the easiest way, or they have to fill out a consent form for consent to be filmed and used, and then they have to give their ID and a photo of them holding their ID to you and all of this stuff. So like whenever a guy hooks up with me and is like, ooh, we should film it for OnlyFans, I'm like, okay, are you willing to sit down and fill out a consent form and then do OnlyFans like process of identifying yourself and do all of that with me? And they get turned off real quick by that, and they're like, no, I don't want to do all that. I'm like, well, then I can't fucking upload your video on OnlyFans or Pornhub, so stop asking.
wait, what would happen if you did? Like, eventually they would find it and take it down?
Yes.
Okay.
So it used to take them a lot longer to take it down, but now it's immediate. As soon as you upload something with another person in it in any way, shape, or form, they immediately ask you to tag that person, or the content is delisted, which means like you can see the content, but nobody else can see the content. So if I were to send a message to my fans with that content trying to sell it, the message wouldn't show up in my fans' feed at all, because that content has a person that's unverified in
But
it.
that's good because it keeps people safe.
It does. And it
Yeah.
also, if I were to block somebody because I didn't want them using content with me, like if I were not friends with someone anymore and I didn't want them profiting off of that, then they wouldn't be able to tag me in it either. So that's also a good way to have control over things like revenge porn,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of people who will like sell content after you don't want them to, which can be very harmful.
Yeah.
I think it's AI that's maybe speeding up that process. Yeah.
So back in the day, it used to be like an actual human person that did it, and it would take them months, sometimes years, to find content that was unlabeled.
but
So
I can
like if
tell
I
it's
had
more
a
than one
partner
person.
that didn't have an account or was too lazy to turn in the shit, then I could get away with it for a little bit. But the other thing that's frustrating is when they changed their verification system, it kind of, instead of like grandfathering in people, they like voided a lot of things that were turned in before and made you have to re-verify people.
Oh, that's annoying.
And there's some folks that I film with that don't live here anymore, and that I like don't have their phone numbers anymore and stuff, and it's really rough because like I can't go ask those people to verify. So if I want to sell that content, have to sell it through other platforms now. So I have it all on like Dropbox, but yeah. It kind of sucks for things like that. But at least at the end of the day, it's like protecting people more than it's harming my bag.
Yeah.
And that's what really matters.
That is.
So MLMs,
Yes.
they exist in OnlyFans.
I know some folks who definitely use scummy business practices with their fans. They'll offer to sell something that they don't actually have, or they'll never fulfill things that they've sold, and like that's sad. And I kind of look down upon that because it like breaks the fan and performer relationship, and then it makes it harder for fans to want to buy from other performers who are honest, like myself. But so within the coaching community, there are definitely girls running it like, first of all, the fucking Navy, and running it as an MLM. So there are a lot of coaching channels that, like, if you refer someone to the coaching channel, you can either get extra free coaching, or you can get, I don't know if people do cash bonuses, but it's like more like, if you bring me clients, like I'll give you a discount on my promotion. I'll give you a discount on a one-on-one coaching session, stuff like that. So they're definitely trying to encourage people to bring people in the way an MLM would, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of where I started seeing that things weren't looking too right in the coaching group that I was in. And I know about a lot of other coaching groups. I'm in maybe like 3 or 4 of them myself. And the ones I'm in, like, never really got that far, right? But the girl who leads the main coaching group that I ended up having beef with her, and she kicked me out of her coaching group, even though I paid for it. And she did not refund me. She was like, I'm just going to kick you out. And I'm like, yeah, fuck that, right? But so with OnlyFans, when you make a new page, you can make it with someone's referral link. So referral links are where this starts to get weird.
Okay.
So if I had one OnlyFans account, now I have 2. I have one that's free and one that people pay to join, and I run them differently. So on the free page, I have like things that I sell additionally to that, and then on the VIP page, people pay to enter, and then everything in there is free once they pay.
Yeah.
But I made my second page and put her as my referral link. So now she earns, I don't know if it's a very small percentage, like 5% of what I earn.
That's kind of a lot, though. 5% adds up.
Yeah, it does, especially if you make a lot of money. So like, if you use someone as your referral link, that person's account will always be attached to yours.
Oh, damn.
And they'll make a small percentage of what you make.
But what was the benefit for you using her referral link?
I don't know if there is one. That's the thing. I don't think...
Yeah, it's just taking your money.
Yeah. Which is just like, okay.
Do you get like more views if you use a referral link, or like...
I genuinely don't believe so, because I've never seen it work that way. But I just know that like it's to help out the person, I guess, who you're giving that to.
But
and so
they're getting your money.
Yeah, like, well, not my money directly, but yeah, like a weird portion of it. So it's interesting. So there is definitely an interest for people who run coaching groups to get people who haven't made an OnlyFans or haven't made a second OnlyFans to sign up using their referral link, because then they get more money aside from the money this person has given for coaching. And the other thing about these coaching groups is these girls are pushing their promo in the group all the time. And a lot of the coaching like methods that they give are like, oh, the best way to gain and the best way to earn more in the future is to buy more promo.
Oh my God.
And you know whose promo is really good? My promo. And I'm like, girl, that can't be the basis of your coaching. Be so
I was gonna ask
right
like
now.
what they do in coaching, like what they coach and what they say.
So when you buy a coaching channel, you get a lot of information. So some people who have really good legit coaching channels, it's basically like a book, and it's organized, and you can learn a bunch of methods, and you can, sometimes they give you captions
Is this through,
or
like,
examples.
Telegram or,
yeah.
Okay.
It's usually on Telegram. I know there's some Reddit groups, and I know some people actually will make like Google Docs that they just sell as well. Or even like a video tutorial that they sell. So there's a lot of different ways, but mostly this is on Telegram. So you join a private group, and then there will be a chat room for people to ask questions to the coaches, and then you can have individual coaching sessions too. So the groups that I'm in right now, I'm in one that I got kicked out of, but I was in one that was like a general group that had a lot of like ways to run OnlyFans pages and like sales tactics that work and sexting tactics that work and stuff like that. I'm in a sexting coaching page where that person like sent me all of the info on the method she uses. That's a very successful method for sales. And then I'm in another one that's just captions that someone has written out that you can copy and paste, or you can use as inspiration for your captions to get your sales up and to get people's attention up. So like those are the kind of groups that are out there, right? So the general coaching groups where it's just kind of like teaching you how to make money, teaching you how to present yourself, teaching you kind of branding basics too. So like if you look and act and do these things, this is like the kind of branding you need to lean into, because of course with any market you need a niche to like really get attention and to really be successful. You have to have a niche. So like my niche is like being a big girl, and then my other niche is like I have a lot of fans who follow me for smoking content, because smoking is a common fetish and I smoke a lot. So I have people that pay me to make videos just smoking or rolling a blunt or a joint. So like that's fun. That's one of the niches I'm in.
Yeah.
And then the other niche I'm in is gamer girl bullshit. You
Gamer
know,
girl.
you know the gamer girls.
You're a
the
gamer
e-girl.
girl.
It's just the classic.
Yeah.
But so stuff like that. So like the coaching can be really valuable if it's not scummy. But there's this girl, I actually don't even remember her name. I'm gonna talk mad shit and I don't remember her name because I've blocked her accounts on everything. I'll try to remember it, but like
Let's call her out.
I actually will.
is
So
the
I've called
tea.
her out in the past and she like got really mad at me for it, and I was like, here's the thing, I don't actually care. So she still runs it, this coaching group where she teaches people how to be really successful on OF. She makes a shit ton of money on there. I know she was like top 0%. So there's a percentage ranking on OnlyFans, so you can see what percent you are. So top 0% is obviously the top of the top. And that was her VIP page. And her free page was top 2%, which is still really good. So she was making like thousands a week.
Yeah.
And she had this coaching group. And every single person who joined her coaching group had to use a referral link. It didn't matter if they already had an OnlyFans account. She would make them delete their account or make a new account to use the referral link, which is a humongous red flag. And I don't get how she got so many people to join her group.
Yeah.
So that's the first part, right? And then so she coaches these people, spends a lot of time giving them one-on-one, blah, blah, blah. And, you know, by the first few months, if they're not as successful as she has envisioned them being, she starts to get hostile with folks, because so not only have they paid to join her coaching group, but they're paying her a certain amount of proceeds, you know, from their monthly earnings.
Yeah.
So she's getting all this money. And of course, there's incentive for them to get other people to join. There's incentive for them to buy promo from her and get other freebies. So like the pyramid starts building itself from there. She's very clearly at the top.
Yeah.
The newest people in the group are very clearly at the bottom. She like definitely the more you spent and the more you made for her, the better you were treated within that group, and the better coaching she would give you.
Wow.
And the more attention she would give you. So it's not good. And she's known in the community for being real nasty and mean and like awful to people and going off on them and like getting in physical fights. Like she's just known for that. So then like I had seen a lot of screenshots and screen recordings of stuff she had done, and she's crazy.
Oh
so
my
she
God.
was bullying her group members that weren't making enough money on their commissions for her, because she basically didn't want to run a coaching group to help people. She wanted to run a coaching group
make
for
money.
the money.
Yeah.
And I have seen maybe a couple other groups where they make you do the referral thing, but I've never really seen a group where every single member had to do a referral link. It was more of an option of, hey, if you're going to make a new page, this is the referral link you can use because it helps us run this group, blah, 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 which is a way nicer way to put it, and it's optional. But in this group, it was legitimately forced.
How does she force people to do that without them thinking she's crazy?
So I think it's like the same thing that most MLMs dangle in front of you, which is like, look how successful I am. Look at my life. Look at my cars. Look at my house. Look at my BBL. Look at my fake titties. All of this money. Look at my Louis Vuitton bag. This could be you. If only you give me $500 and also make a new OnlyFans and also sign me up as your referral link. And like, of course, the thing is, like, I really believe her group only worked for people that looked like her and worked with her branding. So there was like, you know, gay men in the group, and like bigger people in the group, and women of color who weren't really as successful, because the coaching was kind of geared towards like a white woman with a BBL and big titties. So it's like,
yeah,
she would get mad at people for looking different and like go off on them for the way they looked.
What?
y'all have different niches.
God awful.
Like,
Yeah, so like the good coaching groups that I join will be like, hey, if you're a woman of color, it's probably the best for you to buy promo from another woman of color.
Yeah.
Or if you're plus size, you should lean into that niche. So like they would kind of understand that there's different kinds of folks, but this girl was really just like wanting everyone to be her little carbon copy.
You're a bad coach if you can't coach everybody.
Yes.
Yeah.
I
Like,
think
why are
have
you in
to
the
be
business of coaching?
versatile. Yeah. And so I knew that she was like this with people, and she had reached out to me about cross promotion, which is just like no payment. If you post someone, they post you. It's just kind of an even trade.
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, I'm so sorry, love, but I don't really want to work with you. And she was like, why? And I was like, I've seen the way you treat people, and I don't really like it, so I'd rather not work with you. She went off. She sent me this long ass voice memo, and then she starts roasting me like, oh, well, your paid page makes as much money as my free page. You obviously fucking suck if you've been doing this for 5 years and you can't make as much money as me. And then she starts telling me about all the rappers she's fucked and stuff, and I'm like, girl, I do not care.
Is she in LA?
Yeah, she's
Of
an
course
East
she
LA girly
is.
pop, and
East LA girly pop.
yeah, she's real interesting. So she goes off on me for a while, and I block her pretty quickly. My Twitter starts getting bombed by her coaching group members.
Oh my
So her
God.
coaching group members are posting on all of my tweets. They're DMing me on Telegram, like these random people I've never met in my life. So not only does she have her little
Jeez.
MLM, but they're a rabid army.
Oh my God.
And they're all like fat shaming me,
Oh my
telling me
God.
that I'm not successful because I quote unquote show everything on my
That's
Twitter.
bullying. That's
And
like,
like
legit
fully bullying me.
Yeah.
So I had to make a bunch of reports and stuff, and like block a bunch of people, because like she basically had taken screenshots of our conversation and sent them to her entire coaching group, which has hundreds of people in it, and was like, go off on this bitch.
my
Wow.
God.
What
So
an
like not
evil
only is it an MLM, but like it's a bunch of
CUNT.
dicks.
yeah.
But it's crazy. So like I actually don't know if her group still exists. I would love to like try to find out if she's still
Yeah.
running
Yeah.
this very predatory coaching group. But she's basically finding people who are desperate to learn and find new ways to make their OnlyFans successful, and preying on that.
Yeah, especially like new people, because they don't know
Yeah.
what the hell's going on.
Yeah, and there's a lot of new people who get on Telegram looking for coaching and advice, and then get picked up by people like this,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
who end up not really giving them that much at the end of the day and gaining a lot from them. And it's like a huge shame.
That's a scam.
Yeah, tons of scammy behavior. And there's also, so there's, not to mention other scammers in general. So there's a lot of people who will like say they're going to sell you coaching, and they just get paid and leave. Or they say they're going to do one-on-one coaching and they abandon you. They say they're going to be your assistant and help you, and they abandon you, all that stuff. But the other part is there's like people who steal coaching content. So they'll join a coaching group, screenshot, copy and paste, what have
And
you,
make
the
their own
entire
coaching group
make
from
their
it.
own coaching group.
That's gotta be
Yeah.
against the rules, right?
I mean, because we have no like body of like law for us, right?
Yeah.
We just kind of self-police. So like you'll get blacklisted for,
Yeah.
and like this girl that I'm talking about right now has been blacklisted a lot. But because like there is no overall blacklist and there is no overall body of governance for this work, we kind of have to self-police and warn people about people, and you can't get to everybody, sadly. But I definitely, if I see people working with a couple of these girls that I know are really rabid and awful, I'll warn them and message them. So especially assistants, I'll warn them.
Yeah.
As an assistant, I really feel like it's my job to be like, hey, I see you're working for this girl right now. I just want to let you know that this is how she treats people, and you need to be careful. And like sometimes people don't give a shit. They're like, oh, well, that's not my problem. And I'm like, that's up to you, bestie.
Yeah.
But some people really do appreciate it. But there's a lot of people who get away with a lot because there's not really anyone governing us. I mean, at a certain point, you can report people to the Better Business Bureau, or you can report people, like if you are owed money or something, you can file a claim in small claims court and stuff like that. But like at the end of the day, most people aren't willing to do that. And a lot of people don't want to go into the court system with something related to porn anyway because of like that being public record.
Yeah.
And it's also, I feel like, still stigmatized, so it's harder to get your point across and like get
people on your side.
Yeah, like the jurors and stuff.
Oh yeah, there's so much stigma around it that like I wouldn't want to go to court for anything. Like I've thought about taking people to court for small business, what do they call it, small claims court, for money that they owe me, because I have people that I've done work for that haven't paid me, and it's really frustrating. But yeah, it's like, will anyone even care about me in the courtroom? I don't know.
Yeah, it's really hard to know. Like you could get lucky and end up with jurors that are good and a judge that gets it.
Yeah.
Or you can end up with like an old white dude that's like
judging you the whole time.
I do say like, so I haven't gotten
the judge is
like a judge.
Judging.
So I haven't gotten sucked into any MLMs, but I do have someone that I don't speak to anymore, that I refuse to speak to. That's like my VIP page referral is hers, but thankfully like that page doesn't earn as much as my free page, so it's kind of nice. But like,
so that's a different person.
Yeah, they're two complete different awful bitches.
Oh my goodness.
Which is just the way it is, unfortunately. But I do have someone that I worked for that I was selling promotional spots on her page. She had a really popular page, and I was selling thousands of dollars of promo a week for her, and I was making 20% commission, which was really good money.
Yeah.
And so she dipped. She decided she wanted to quit OF, and I had a couple months of promo booked ahead when she decided she wanted to quit, and she wouldn't really listen to me about like, hey, you sold all these things that you have to honor.
Yeah.
And like,
or you have to refund them.
And so there were 16 people she would have had to finish their promo or refund them. We finished maybe 2 of them, and I couldn't finish the rest because she had stopped putting any effort into her page, so that everything was just not working properly and like very slow running. And so she had no traffic really for the promo to be good anymore. And I felt, first of all, dishonest selling people promo that I knew wasn't good anymore, and she was pushing me to sell it a lot, and I just morally didn't appreciate that.
Yeah.
And then she has never refunded the rest of the 14 people.
Wow.
And she has not logged on to Telegram in months, and I can't do anything about it. And I apologize to everyone, and thankfully no one is blaming me. But like, she really just like had me do all this work and book all of this out, and then dipped and never came back.
She stole their money, basically.
I kept doing it for free for a little while because I felt so goddamn bad for the people that spent money, and I really wanted to try to do right by them. But I think after a certain point in time, I was like, I'm spending an hour of my day every day. I usually get paid like at least $25-30 an hour. This is killing me inside. So I told her I quit. She never really answered me, and I reached out to everyone letting them know that the promos would be stopped, and thankfully everyone was super kind to me. But yeah, it's a hot mess. Like, there's so many people who are so dishonest out there, and like, you would think with OF the main concern is getting scammed by the fans, because there's a lot of people who will be like, oh, I'm gonna pay for it later, why don't you just send it to me now? And a lot of new creators fall for that all the time. But like, it's really actually the other OF girls that are scamming the most and doing the shadiest business practices, which is
not cool.
A bummer. We're
that is
to
a
look out
bummer.
for each other.
Yeah, you're supposed to be like supporting each other and like helping each other through it. Yeah, and I feel like it could be stronger. I think you would be good at starting your own coaching group that wasn't shady.
I've actually thought about it multiple times. So I've thought about having like an OnlyFans specific coaching group, and then also just like a general social media coaching group to help people learn how to network and how to brand, because I think a lot of it just comes down to branding and like what I would call effective posting. When you post an image, you really have to have like what you want the focus of the image to be centered. You have to like really get something eye-catching, and like I take hundreds and hundreds of pictures, and I'll only post like the best ones and the ones that I know I'm gonna get the most engagement. So like, how I can track my engagement is I go every once in a while and I look back at everything I posted that month, and I go look at the engagement, how many comments and likes and views on all my posts, and then you see what does best. You figure out what all those things, like what is something in common with everything that did the best, and you have to like kind of formulate what works best on your page, and that's going to be different for different people. So that's the part of coaching that can be a little more challenging, because like what works best for my audience might not work best for someone else's audience. So it's basically teaching someone how to learn that about their content, which is the most important thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. It definitely comes down to, and then the other thing about captions is like, God, the first problem everyone has is making it too wordy.
Yeah.
You gotta make that shit 1 or 2 sentences.
Gotta be
People
eye-catching.
are not gonna read all that.
Yeah.
See, I've heard the opposite though. I've heard some people say that you want to tell a story. Sometimes it's good to have a story.
If it's a good story, yes.
Yeah.
True. But if you're trying to get like a point across, it needs to be within the first few sentences, because unfortunately most people are checking out pretty quick.
Yeah, I don't read.
Yeah.
I don't read.
I feel
Unless
like
your
also-
audience, of course, is built on reading and poetry and words or
Yeah,
something
I was gonna
like
say
that.
if it's OnlyFans content, most of them are looking at it for
They're
the
not
picture.
here to read.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they're looking at the video
Yeah, that
and the
makes sense.
picture.
I gave
Yeah.
up with any long captions long ago, and I know people who aren't even new anymore that are still posting entire paragraphs as Twitter captions, and I'm
It's
like,
like,
baby,
a
everyone's just
blog.
looking at your titties, not
Get a blog.
yeah.
Yeah.
Get yourself a WordPress. But the other thing is, if you do want to use a lot of words, put them on your image or on your video, not in the caption. I don't know what it is about that, but people will definitely read words on a picture way more than they're going to read words
Yeah.
in a caption.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Including myself. I know
Yeah.
that. And I still will like only read a poster and never read the caption unless I really need info.
yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's just how it goes, because you're you're scrolling through the pictures on social media, and then. But yeah, I guess Twitter is different. I don't use Twitter that much.
It
Well,
sucks now. So
we use Twitter.
I
never-
love Twitter.
I'm
don't
a pictures
actually.
girl. That's why I don't like Twitter.
Yeah,
It's like
well,
All them
these
words. Well,
There's
the only
pictures.
thing I ever got popular on Twitter for was for images and videos, but my text tweets have never done well. People are not here to watch me talk, sadly. But Twitter just sucks now.
It does.
God, the engagement is so bad, and Elon Musk ruined the way the algorithms work. and
I
the
get so
algorithms
many
are just
conservative
ass now.
tweets.
Yeah,
and I'm
all
like,
of
why
my
am I
Twitter
seeing
recommendations
this?
Are like not anything I'm aligned with
Like,
personally.
take some lessons from TikTok. They really nail you down. They really know
I
who
have
you
no
Know
idea.
are.
exactly what kind of
Threads-
content I want to see.
Yeah,
I
they
feel
know.
like Threads had so much potential, and then nobody started using it, and now people complain about Twitter, but they're still on it. Why don't we just go to Threads?
I wish
It's not
they
the
would.
same. My Twitter is like, you can't find me on
Yes.
Twitter.
Yeah.
Unless you have my Twitter name.
Yeah.
You cannot find me by
Which
anything.
is perfect.
And
The way
I
it
like
should
it that
be.
way.
Yeah.
So I don't want these people, I have like however many followers, I don't want them to know my deepest thoughts.
They don't need to know.
They don't
what's
need to
going on in
know.
that
Can
little
you make a
brain.
Threads account without an Instagram account? That's the
I
question.
don't think so.
You would probably have to create a burner.
Yeah.
Mm.
And then like they always want to connect that shit to your Facebook, and I'm like, no.
I know, that's even
Like,
worse.
My
I'm like,
Instagram
bro,
asks me if I want to connect my
I
porn
hate
Instagram
it.
to
No.
my legal name Facebook, and
I
I'm like,
don't
girl,
ne-
why would I want
No.
to do that?
I don't need these people
You're
to
trying
see
to
anything.
show my grandma
I
my
have
booty
a different
reels.
like I don't think they understand like how problematic this is, because each of these platforms came around in a different time.
Mhm.
So,
Before we
like-
were worried about doxing and our identities as much.
Yeah.
Yes.
So like in Facebook, it's like people that we knew from high school or
Mhm.
even younger than that.
Yeah.
And like all of our
And
family.
like our family,
Yeah.
if you went to church, it's like people from church.
Oh my God.
Like
yes.
I have a lot of the church people blocked on
There's
there.
a lot of people on Facebook
Like-
that because I have not looked at it in so long, that I definitely don't want to be friends with
Mhm.
at all.
And so my thing is the stories, the Instagram stories, it'll be like I'll just like accidentally post it to my
Oh,
Instagram
yeah.
story,
Oh,
and
yeah.
I'm like,
Mm.
That's why I only like for certain things, because I'm nervous about that, I post like some things only on my close friends, because like
yeah,
I'm just like, my grandma might accidentally see me rolling up a fat blunt.
yeah.
And I just don't want
You
that.
don't want that, yeah.
I'm not here for that. But the other thing is, I do know people who have gotten doxxed by that. So like people who have like OnlyFans Instagrams or OnlyFans accounts even on Facebook, you can make like a Facebook page for your model profile and stuff, which like for me that's so risky, because like my whole family's on Facebook, so I would
Yeah.
never.
and
like,
there's
braver
always
than
like the
troops.
suggested
Yeah.
friends or whatever. I
Oh.
feel like they
I have a story about
suggest
that.
and they know it's you.
Yes. So yeah, it's just
Yeah, they're getting kind of creepy
so
with it.
there's a lot of people who have gotten doxxed by that. I have gotten doxxed by Facebook, actually. I forgot about this. So I had a sugar father ages
father.
ago, and our phones were sitting next to each other because we were hanging out, and there's a phone proximity recommendation for Facebook recommendations, and
Yeah,
I didn't
knew it.
fucking
I knew there
know
was.
that.
What?
And like,
Yeah, 'cause that's
I
how
don't know
they're
if Snapchat
creepy.
does it too, but like, so for any app that asks to see your contacts for recommended ads, I always say no,
Same.
because no fucking way.
Right.
So I've always been really careful about that, and I had to turn off my location services and stuff for Facebook because of this, because he later was like, "Oh, is your legal name blah blah blah?" And I was like, "What the fuck?"
Yeah.
And he was like, "Yeah, Facebook recommended that I add you as a friend because our phones were by
Ew.
each other."
I hate it.
And it literally fully outed me to this fucking man who, by the way, I do not like anymore and had to block, because he was dating a girl like over a year after the last time I saw him, and she had gone through his phone and found some interactions between him and I, and she was like, "He told me that you were the only one he ever did this with, and that he, you know, like, he doesn't see you anymore and stuff, but like, how dare you tear up my relationship like this?" Here's the thing, to get in contact with me, this woman had to pay me. It was hilarious. She was messaging me on Instagram. She was like, "Can I Skype you? Can I Skype you?" And I'm like, "Girl,
I don't know why they like people always want to like blame the woman, but it's him that lied.
it's
Like
literally, why? What did I do? I'm so
Yeah.
sorry, girl, but what did I do?" So she, I didn't know what she wanted to talk to me about. I thought she was just perhaps a lesbian client. And so I was like, "Well, Skype calls are $50, baby." And she joins my OF, tips me $50 to call me and accuse me of stealing her
Wow.
fucking man,
Wow.
who I haven't seen in a year. But he, of course, had told her that I was who he was seeing right now, because he never stopped.
Yeah.
So she goes into this whole thing with me, and I felt so bad for this girl. She was like maybe 20, and this guy was like 35 and like
Mhm.
very much taking advantage of her. And she was so upset, and I was like, "Honey, I'm so sorry to tell you, but like, I haven't talked to him in over a year. He gave you my name as an easy excuse, but I'm sure, more than certain, that he's doing this with multiple women. He was seeing at least 3 other women at the time he was seeing me. He doesn't seem like the type that's gonna stop."
Mm-hmm.
And I told her, like, very honestly, I kind of gave her a little pep talk of like, "You deserve better than this, man. You seem very young. I know he's a bit predatory in some ways. So, you know, I'm sorry that you had to pay me to find out that he was also lying to you about this, but I genuinely haven't seen him in a year. So, like, whoever he's fucking right now, certainly not me." But yeah, it was
yeah,
kind of,
that's weird.
That's
At
crazy
least-
that she paid to Skype with you.
Hey,
It's
get
so
the bag though, and
funny.
then give her some life advice.
Yeah,
See, you could
I-
be a coach. You got paid
Yes,
for a coach. That was your first
that was your
coaching
first
call.
her a little bit and told her like, "Hey girl, get out." And I really hope she did. But it was so funny. But I am really blessed that he gave her my stage name, not my legal name.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
But,
that's crazy.
Yeah, it's rough out there.
Yeah, fuck Facebook for that. That's crazy.
Facebook
Yeah.
really did me dirty. And then the other problem is, like, I have no control over this, but like, my Instagram is popular enough that I just pop up on people's IG reels and on their feed all the time. So that's the
Mhm.
other thing that just like outs me to people from my hometown a lot, is just
Mhm.
my Instagram presence and my Pornhub presence. So like, there ain't much I can do about that. Those folks know me, they recognize me, but it is what it is. Like, you want
Mhm.
to be popular, right?
I mean,
but
if
then
anything-
as you become popular,
It's like,
people
oh,
start
shit.
realizing that it's you.
If anything, that could help make you more money though, because like people like
God, I want
to
it
buy from people they know. You know, like
So I
some
do
random
wonder
person
how
from
much
your
money I
hometown,
have
like-
earned from folks from my hometown, but I know
Yeah.
they're all too scared of me to say they know me.
Someone
but
had a
I
crush
know-
on you in high school,
Oh,
and now they're
yeah.
like, "Oh my god."
Oh yeah, they all wanted to see the goods then.
Yeah.
So good for them now. But I know a lot of girls who make a shit ton of money from people from their high school and hometowns. But I do think I have gotten money from that. I just think they haven't told me it's them because
Mhm.
they're scared, which is completely fair. But they do lurk. They lurk. I see on my IG stories quite often some faces that I recognize, and they won't follow me, but they're watching.
Yeah, that's
They're
funny.
definitely watching.
So I feel like we, at some point, should have another interview talking more about everything there is to talk about your line of work, but what we may or may not.
We could also at one point just have
Yeah, let us know, listeners, if you would like to have Rose come back on for some
Crazy
more
client
crazy
stories.
Crazy client stories.
Crazy client
Crazy
stories.
Clients, and also other people in the industry who are always insane.
The tea. The
tea.
industry tea.
Oh God.
If you're interested.
I have so much knowledge in my head about drama about people's lives that I've never met. It's
I can't wait.
incredible.
I can't wait.
I am here for it.
Yeah.
Always.
So, yeah, I mean, but if you guys would like to follow Rose,
Yeah. Where
Plug
can
it,
they
girl.
find you? Plug it.
So first of all, if you want to see my beautiful body, you can find me on Pornhub or whatever your preferred video network is. Google my stage name. I'm going to spell it for you. Rose, R-O-S-E. Reine is L-A-R-E-I-N-E. I'm on IG. It's Rose_La_Reine. I'm on TikTok at Hello Rose Reine, and I'm on Twitter. It's one word, Rose Reine, except the O is a 0. You really have to get creative with the usernames out here because I've just been banned on Twitter like 12 times at this point. So you get what you get. But thank you so much for listening to me yap. And
Thanks so much for being
Yeah,
on
thanks for
and
coming.
taking
It's always a
time out of your
joy.
day to do this with us.
Yeah.
It's always
It's
a pleasure
been
to
real.
let people know like the inner workings
Yeah.
of the beast.
I
definitely learned a lot.
learned a lot.
Well, thank you so much. We hope you guys enjoyed this episode.
Follow us on Instagram. Thank you so much, Pod.
Yeah, that's us. Thank you so much, Pod. We'll maybe get other social medias out there. We do have a YouTube now.
We
Oh,
do.
hell yeah.
Thank
but
you so much,
Shorts is
Pod.
where it's up.
Well, we're not doing we're not on the video content
Not yet.
Not just yet. Too much work. But
Yeah, we'll get
Don't
there.
I know it.
We'll get there.
We'll get there.
But our podcast is on YouTube now.
Yeah,
So,
you can listen to it.
yeah, you guys could listen to it. Also, please buy us a coffee.
Please buy us a coffee.
And
Or
you
just one
do
cigarette.
that. You do that buy us a coffee is a special website that you can buy us virtual coffees.
Yeah.
And really it's going to pay for our equipment because we need our own equipment.
Yeah, we sure do. I mean, it would be so much easier. And it's not just
coffee. It's microphones and audio interfaces and
Yeah.
cords and
But it's in the bio.
In
It's
the
all
bio.
in the bio of the Instagram. And thank you so much. Love you. Bye.
Love you, bye.
Mwah.
Mwah.